Hi everyone, and welcome to our 7th STEM session video from GirlsCodeIt. I'm Simone, and today we'll be talking about how to start your computer science career in high school. And with computer science, we're going to talk about first what it is. So what is CS? I think I gave that away. It is computer science. But computer science is actually the study of computers and computational systems. And that sounds pretty straightforward, like computer science, study of computers. Why is it so hard? But there's so much layers to CS that that's what makes it one of the most accepting fields. And we'll talk a bit more about that later. But CS is heavily based on math. So computer science, if you guys have ever looked at the AP, it is under the math category just because it is so heavily reliant on mathematics concepts, and mathematics and computer science really coincide with each other on a lot of spots. And number 3, computer science is a field that focuses on theory, design, and application. So you're not necessarily building here. Computer science is more about the software and everything behind the hardware, which is what usually you would see. You're like, oh, here's the computer. But CS is what's inside that, like all the circuits, all that fun stuff. And even more important, it's about the theory, the ideas that come, the design, and everything in computer science is designed separately and then built. And so, why would you want to care about computer science? Like, why is it that important? And I know that this question may seem a little bit stupid, but we have to go over some of the important stuff with it. So, computer science really builds on problem solving. And you guys might have heard that, but problem solving is an essential part of computer science, just like it is in many other fields. Computer science poses you with a problem. It gives you, let's say, like a coding challenge, and you have to solve it. There isn't that many resources you can use. You can use other people's ideas, but at some point you are on your own trying to figure that out. And problem solving in general is an essential skill in life, and why not practice it with computer science, which is such a growing and accepting and amazing industry. Also, computer scientists are behind all like the fancy technology stuff that we use every day, especially now during the coronavirus. We use so much technology, and you don't even realize that that is all based on computer science. And that's really like the amazingness of computer science is the amazingness, but the awesome thing about computer science is that it can create so many things, and it spans just such a large amount of fields and places. But in addition, computer science can lead to more equality. It's such a new field. Like, if you think about it, computers weren't even around before the 1980s, I believe. So it's so new, just 40 years about, and it's really a chance for us to give the underrepresented people in the workforce more representation, because computer science is so important and it's going to be really important in the future, and having it be an essential part of our lives gives it a real, like, we're in this together, so everyone should be able to work on it. And also, computer science is one of the largest industries, as I've said, and will only continue to grow. We're basing our whole lives from now on technology, and that technology, our thirst for more, will lead computer science to be one of the most impacting fields later on. And computer science makes a positive improvement for society. Like, let's say an Alexa, an Amazon Alexa, those were built so that they could help people who couldn't necessarily like use computers or phones. The voice recognition allows people to just be able to talk with the device, and it'll do things for them instead of having to like type something out in your phone. A lot of elderly people, especially with like arthritis, maybe can't type it in, and that really helps them be able to do all that. So moving on from there, here on this slide I'm just going to talk about some more importance of computer science. Computer science, if you didn't have computer science, you wouldn't have computers. Especially now during our COVID-19 situation, we rely so heavily on computers. Think about, if we didn't have computers, we wouldn't have school currently, we wouldn't have ways to socialize, we wouldn't have work. Everything would just be so much harder. The computer science that allows us to have so much technology to allow us to connect and work together would not be there. And now, more importantly, how is CS applicable in your life? Why do you care about everything that's happening in the world if it doesn't concern you? Well, that's not necessarily true, but let's look into that a bit more. With computer science, you have so much opportunities. Like computer science spans a great huge amount of smaller fields that you can major in, and they're all so interesting and they're all developing and they could use all the help they can get. And so these are just listing some of the jobs, but if these jobs sound cool to you, a computer science degree is the way to go. Like, this is our future, and computer science is an amazing, growing, and accepting field. So whether you want to be a data scientist, business analyst, and even if you want to do artificial intelligence, machine learning, artificial intelligence, that's one of the more interesting ones, is you see it so often in movies, and maybe you want to try out and see what it's all about. And also some quick facts just to convince you to go into computer science. Computer science graduates get paid some of the highest starting salaries. Since the field is so new, it's so important, it deals with things that we need in our everyday lives that we've grown to rely on, the computers, the technology, all of that. It's very high paying. And also, a fun fact is that HP, Microsoft, and Apple, and I realize Apple should be capitalized, but those all began in a garage. If you look that up, it's true. They all started with a person having an idea and building on it, and now those companies are huge. And around the world, more than 17 billion devices are connected to the internet. That's a huge amount of devices. Imagine that's set if we didn't have computer science, those 17 billion devices would not exist. They would not connect the internet, and people would not be able to communicate. Imagine how much is relying on those 17 billion devices. And now for the more important stuff. How can you start your career? What is this presentation about? Well, now we're going to get into that. So, a frequent question is, where do you start? You want to go into CS. So, where should you begin? Well, you want to use the resources you already have. So many schools offer amazing opportunities for you to take classes that base off of CS, that are an extension of CS. You can enroll in extracurriculars and learn a coding language on your own if those aren't available options. So first, if you want to look at what classes your school offers. Many times, and I know I've listed APs, but it doesn't have to be an AP necessarily. If your school doesn't offer an AP, that's fine. APs are just great because you get to take college level courses, and that also gets you ready for the college rigor of CS courses. But AP Computer Science, of course, and since a lot of people, when AP Computer Science came out, they didn't take it, AP actually made a separate one, Principles. And Principles is a simpler one, but it still goes very in-depth, and it's also an amazing course to take. AP Calculus, as I said, computer science bases off very heavily on math, so math could help you. So could AP Statistics if you want to go into data analysis. That's also a portion of CS. Or AP Physics and Chemistry. Some science concepts are really useful if you want to deal with 3D design, 3D animations, all that fun stuff. And I know this one is really frowned upon. Like, why would you want to learn a foreign language? Well, since CS is such a growing field, it spans technology as what connects the world together, and learning a foreign language, maybe you could go somewhere else to work with. If when going into computer science, you'll meet so many people from different backgrounds that learning a foreign language could really help you to be able to communicate better and work on those problems more efficiently. And our second option, our second piece of advice I'd say, is to enroll in some extracurriculars. Extracurriculars are a great way to extend your knowledge and really go beyond. And some of these, and I've only listed 4, but there's so many that your school, this is personally the ones that I could think of that my school offers, and it's math team because computer science based off on math. First Robotics is a great opportunity, and so is Vex. They allow you to see the aspect of CS of you create the programs, you create the software, now what do you do with it? You put it in robots that you build. It allows you to see the impact, what you could really do with programming and computer science. And last, we have Cyber Patriots, which is a program given out by the Air Force. And Cyber Patriots is great because it allows you to compete in challenges to secure systems, and cybersecurity is very important in computer science. And if you don't have, if perhaps you go to like an online school and you might not have these resources, you might not be able to take the APs, you might not have extracurriculars to enroll in, you can always learn a coding language on your own. There are so many websites that offer free tutorials. You have our website, GirlsCodeIt.org, of course. By the way, make sure to sign up for our web dev signups and our web dev courses, and those are going to teach you some HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But you have so many different ones, and of course, YouTube is always a great one. You can do so much if you just want to be in the CS field, even if you don't have necessarily the resources someone else might have. And another step is to work on projects and to showcase your work. Projects are really important because they allow you to experience. Instead of just watching tutorials, reading books, you get to experience the computer science part of it. You get to experience as if you're working on a project. You really get to make mistakes, and mistakes are what give you that that ability to continue. Mistakes are what show you what you're doing wrong, what you're missing, and what you can improve on. And in the end, when you're able to solve all those problems, it gives you a huge sense of accomplishment to see your final project and it's working and it's great, and you can share it with people. Is just an amazing feeling of accomplishment and confidence. And a good way to show others your project is to post them online. You can post them on your social media perhaps, just to show people. And GitHub is really useful for this. GitHub is all about people posting their projects, being able to reference them later in the future to show them like, hey, look at my cool project idea. Oh, that's cool, but I think you could go further on that, and people can really comment on each other's project to further the progress on those. And Girls Code It has a GitHub STEM session, so I could link that for you guys in the description. And our third piece of advice is to find some internships in summer programs. Internships allow you to learn from professionals and to really experience computer science for what it is, a job, like it allows you to experience the job working on problems that you would get paid for that are important. Like you could always make your own projects, but this gives you the a bit of pressure, like this is something you have to create, and the accomplishment here is huge. You get to learn from professionals. You get to experience the whole idea of working CS as a job, which is the CS career. And they're also really useful because they build experience. Of course, you're working from professionals. You're looking at the best people, the people who've already learned, and can only give you more from that. And of course, you can always go to hackathons. Hackathons allow you to showcase your knowledge and to stand out by being a competition. They allow you to not only learn, because then you can meet other people, learn from that, but they allow you to show off your knowledge and to see what computer science is really about, like to see a challenge. And here I've linked one website, and I'll also link to the description some to consider, like internships, computer science programs, and it says specifically for girls, but a lot of them can also be applied to guys as well. So don't worry about that. And our last section is, how can you make a difference? There are so many people wanting to go into CS. How are you going to make the difference? And to be truthful, everyone makes a difference in CS. It's a growing field. There's so much more that we have to learn from it. There's so much more we can do with it, that just the idea, I'm going to go into computer science and I'm going to try my best, you will accomplish so much. And the other thing is that computer science is a field that can really showcase and build equality. And usually STEM is considered for guys, and we know that stereotype, but that's what we in Girls Code It and a lot of people are trying to break, that girls also have the capabilities, just like guys, to go into STEM fields, especially computer science. And a lot of times that's the important thing, to have the idea, I'm going to make it, like I'm going to go into it, I'm going to make it, like I can do this. And that confidence that even though you're a girl, you can do it. Like you can go into computer science, make a difference, because it's just so much. Computer science needs all the help it can get. It's a growing, accepting field, and there's so much more that we have to learn from it. And here we just have a chart. And these points I went over um, a second ago. But we also have the fact that minorities are very underrepresented too in computer science. And as you can see, here we have the interesting thing is that when you're comparing male and female, you have 49 to 51, so almost half and half. And this is a 2010 to 11 study, so I guess not that recent, but we can still gauge from here. The enrollment is pretty good, but the amount of females who take the test, the AP Computer Science exam, are way less than the amount of guys who take it. And that's the important thing, to tell yourself, even though I'm a girl, I still have the capabilities to do this. And CS is just such an amazing field. It promotes equality. Everyone can do it if you set yourself to it. You can solve these problems. Problem solving and math and coding is not based on gender or your race, ethnicity. Everyone can do it, and that's what is so important about CS, because it binds people together and it really promotes equality. And that's some points that I wanted to touch on, is that when you go to those summer internships we talked about, they can really lead you to meeting more people. You meet people of different backgrounds, and you get to ask them questions. You get to exchange all that amazing knowledge that you both or all of you have accumulated. And that's really the important part, is that that's the knowledge, that's the learning you learn from other people, even though they're different from you. And that's really how CS is so important in creating equality. And also, it's just you really want to tell yourself, I got this, I can do it. You have to have the confidence that you can go into this field, because it's not that bad. I know a lot of people are scared of computer science because they're like, oh my god, computers, that's such a big thing, technology, math, I'm terrible at those. But no, computer science has so much so many different things you can do. Computer science just spans, and I know it might sound computer science, science of computers, what else could there be? But it spans so many different areas that you can specialize in, and there's something for everyone really. And that's what's important about computer science, is that it's so accepting. And that was our last slide. And thank you so much for watching, guys. We really appreciate you guys being here with us. That concludes our STEM session 7 on how to start your CS career in high school. And I just wanted to touch upon a little bit. It doesn't have to be in high school. It can be in elementary school. If you're a middle schooler watching this, I know elementary school may be a bit too young. You can start with all those different coding languages like Scratch, Python, Java. You can start them with us or with someone else. And you just have to, the important thing is that you have to set your mind to it. You have to tell yourself, I got this, I can do it, I can make the difference, because computer science is so growing and it's so accepting. And here I've linked another resource for you guys, which I will of course link in the description, just to give you guys a bit more resources on how to start your computer science career. I hope this helped. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you guys are really considering going into computer science, majoring, minoring, whatever. But let us know in the description what, if any, of the jobs that I went over on the computer science, computer science degree slide, do those interest you? What are you looking for? And that'll help us build some curriculums for those too. Have a great night, day, wherever you might be, and thank you so much for being here with us. And make sure to look for our next STEM session, sign up for our courses, subscribe to our channel, check out our website, and become a member. And goodbye, guys. Hope you guys consider computer science.